Good evening and happy Monday. We hope you are fired up for another edition of the Opening Kick because trust me and Smoke are with the chaos that is college football. We have already been going back and forth on our thoughts of the insanity that is to come with the possible playoff future, the chaos of the week that was, how we think the playoffs may shake out, a conference that maybe needs to stop their crying, or did they make a bad deal? All that we want to discuss tonight on the Opening Kick. But first of all, as always, man, I hope you're stuffed from that turkey over the weekend. I hope your teams won. If not, sorry you were part of the chaos. But as always, man, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. How you doing, Smoke?
I am doing outstanding. Thanksgiving was great. My daughter participated, and she was front and center in the parade down to Disney. She did an outstanding job, All-American cheerleader.
Nice.
Didn't have much turkey, though.
We'll do the turkey.
Now, we'll do the turkey another time. I didn't even get an opportunity to wish you happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, my man. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, man. Like I said, as always, well, I hope y'all had a good time down at Disney. I guess you got you one of them Disney cheeseburgers, park burgers on Thanksgiving. But as always, man, we got a jam-packed show. We're going to get it to you. But first, we got to thank our sponsor, the one that keeps the lights on here for us, or the one that keeps the rocks on your walls, and that's One Limestone Company. Have you ever dreamed of having beautiful natural stone in or around your home? Well, don't settle for subpar materials. Check out Limestone Company's selection of natural stone products to meet all of your project needs. Limestone is located in Aniana, Alabama, and is one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So contact them today and tell them we sent you by using the promo code TheBama Standard to receive 10% off your purchase. Go give Limestone at realrockstone.com some love today, as they always give us the love. With that said, man, Smoke said we got a jam-packed show. If you weren't paying attention, I guess we can call it chaos, or it's just another week in the world of college football, man. Any quick takeaways from that insanity?
Petty, I keep telling you, college football, in the climate that we're in right now, in the landscape that we're in, it's week to week. Nothing should surprise you just because the most consistent coach is now on the sidelines working for ESPN. Anything can happen, and it should happen when you have average, above average, nothing great, nothing good. Everybody's participating. Just like the 12 teams that's going to get into this playoffs, it's called a participation trophy at the end of the year. If somebody comes through and wins and the national champion is 9-3 or 13-4, it's embarrassing. I wouldn't even take the trophy home. But hey, listen, we complain about the young kids nowadays getting participation trophies, but I hear all the adults that are considered themselves true competitors complaining and lobbying why their three lost team should get into the playoffs. Just go play in a good bowl game, get prepared for next year, and keep on pushing, man. It's embarrassing. Stop crying.
We're going to get to the crying because I think you think there's a particular league that's doing most of the crying now because of the cannibalism within their own ranks. With that said, man, who do you think that there wasn't as much chaos in the SEC as there was outside this week with Miami, Clemson, and Ohio State? You know, going into Saturday, the ACC was kind of looking like they could sneak 2 or 3 teams into the playoffs, and then they dropped 2 with Clemson going down to South Carolina and Miami losing to the Qs up in the Carrier Dome. And then we'll get to Ryan Day and Ohio State. That's a whole nother ball of wax right there.
Hey, Petty, if you listen to me all year, I told you the ACC is a waste management group. That's all it is. They complained about the team that came in and cried and said, why are we letting SMU in? They're not worthy of playing in our conference. Last time I checked, they were 8-0. Washed everybody up with an opportunity this week to do something that's never been done before. Level up from the group of 4 to the Power 4 conference right now, 8-0, win the conference championship, get into the participation playoffs organization to win a national championship. It's never been done. Rhett Lashley and that crew, outstanding job. Clemson that complained about him, Florida State that complained about him and sued everybody to not let the team in, they're in. And they're giving you all that you want. One team is 2-10. The other team has lost the game in that conference. So, like I said, man, Miami, if you didn't expect this to happen and you've been watching Mario Cristobal coaching at Miami or wherever he's coached at, this is normal. The only thing that's helped him out this year and made him somewhat a conversational piece in the upper echelon of being in the top 5 or top 10 program is because of Cam Ward. At some point when you go into a game in an adverse and a hostile situation, your head coach and your best players need to play their best. And your head coach, it may be like 2 or 3 games all year, they have to prepare you to play games. And the one game that you had to go on the road, up in the dome, you took that night off. Shame on you.
You said all year
this is what you used to.
You said all year that Cristobal owes his paycheck to Cam Ward, that he's pretty much saved him until you can't, man. One football player can only save you so long until, you know.
Listen, you only go to church so many times and get splashed with the holy water. And after that, you had to come out holy yourself, man.
Well, as we speak now, Miami's best win is Florida. That's it. That's their only quality win is Florida. They've got losses to Syracuse and Georgia Tech now. I don't see how, this will get into our whole. I think there needs to be an element. I'm not sure they're using the playoff committee, but hey, is what it is. If that's going to be the way it is, I think teams need to look at how they shape their schedule and that strength of schedule. But Clemson losing to Pitt, but Clemson can still shake shit up. They've got SMU. I don't know if that Clemson team can beat SMU though.
They can, Petty. I don't think they will, but they can. Petty, listen. You know how to do math, don't you?
I'm from Mississippi. It's tough.
Half of 25 is what?
12 and a half.
Good. So you can't have a half a team. So basically, you chop 25 teams in half, and that's what the playoffs is. That's all. And next year, they're talking about going to a 16-game playoff. You're not going to see anybody change their schedule. No need to. Why? Long as you finish in your top third and you have a name and a player with you, the committee's going to say, you know what? We need to see Cam Ward in the playoffs because it's all about money. We don't understand that. Just like if Notre Dame was on the brink of not getting in, on the cusp of not getting, they're going to get in. Long as they're not 4 losses and 4 L's in the losing column, and Alabama's not completely bottom out, they're trying their best to get those teams in. Because unlike you, do you want to see Boise versus SMU? You'd rather see Alabama, Notre Dame.
That's why they're going to 16 next year. They're not going to make this damn mistake again and let the SEC cannibalize itself and then leave better teams out that are going to be watching Boise, like you say, Indiana and schools like that play. That congrats on winning.
But those teams have earned it, though.
Have they
earned it?
They've
earned it.
Played their schedule, but have they truly earned it? Because
Absolutely. Okay.
Every playoff we're getting in that we're jumping the shark here, but I think we have to. It just leads into it. The chaos. No, but we're conditioned as sports fans in any playoff, college basketball, baseball, that strength of schedule matters. So the SEC's resume is always going to look different than a team from the Big Ten who gets to go to Purdue and Maryland in their off week instead of Norman, Oklahoma or Auburn, Alabama in their off week.
Hey,
the schedule is completely different.
Pause. You said Maryland and Purdue.
Yeah.
Right. No one cares about where or who you play. Was Oklahoma, are they a bowl eligible team?
Yes, they are now.
Okay, good. Did Alabama beat them?
Nope.
Good. Did Alabama beat Vanderbilt?
Nope.
So it doesn't matter. Just take the L's. Get the W's and L's. That's all that you should care about. So stop complaining about who's playing who, because they're in their conference and they have to play them.
Well, you can't say on one hand you don't want to see Boise, but then take your L's because
I don't.
They're getting in off the benefit of a weak schedule.
Petty, you should have asked that Smoke. Do you think the college football playoffs make sense? Absolutely not. Just put the best 2 teams in and play it out. If 4 was blah. Now you're going to 12, it's going to be terrible. You're going to see the same thing, the chaos that you're talking about, but it's not chaotic. It's a normal behavior in college football. It's a bunch of average playing above average, and there might be 1 or 2 good. And it's 1 or 2 good teams, you see what they are.
Well, I did not think that this 12 or the playoff set up perfect now. If there's not a dominant team, that means instead of 2 teams going in and 12 teams wasting everybody's time, there's probably 8 different teams that can walk into that damn thing and win it. That actually makes it entertaining, like the big dance.
I don't think 8 teams can win it, but
you don't. You can't tell me that every one of these teams that are in the thing can't trip up, because they're all proven they can.
Petty, listen. Every team can trip up, but what's the likelihood of it happening? Not likely.
Pretty damn good after this year.
All right. Listen, we'll keep going because right now I'm gonna prove my point once we get to it. Once we get to it, I'm gonna prove my point. Keep going.
Before there was one more team that took a big L, and that's Ohio State. Man,
Petty, is this surprising? Why are you surprised? They haven't beaten that team in how many years?
Because they have an NFL roster versus the other one. It shows. I mean, I'm going. So what do we do with Ryan Day then, Smoke? Is he the most overrated coach in college football?
No, I don't think he's the most overrated coach. I think Ryan Day is a good coach. Don't think, he's a good coach.
A good coach doesn't lose with that roster to that Michigan team at home.
Is Nick Saban a good coach?
Yeah, he's a good coach. He wouldn't lose with that roster to that Michigan team.
Go check out the 2010 Alabama roster. Yeah. So don't say that. He just can't beat Michigan because that team is not built to beat Michigan. That team is not built for toughness. It's not. It's not built to win a tough game in the Big Ten. Michigan is built to win the Big Ten. And that's how they play it. And every single year, Ohio State's going to have the better athletes. They're going to look prettier. They're going to be faster. But at some point, those boys in the blue, they line them up and get everybody close together. And they play punch them in the mouth football. And Ryan Day and the Buckeyes don't like getting punched in the mouth. Because when they do get punched in the mouth, they don't do much. You saw what happened. Flags got planted on fields. Head coach didn't even know what was going on. Couldn't even control his own team. Bro, that's not surprising. That's not chaotic. It's happened the last 4 years. Who's surprised? Are you? I'm not. I told you that Will Howard and Ryan Day, just like every other good team, you need those head coach and your quarterback to come out for 1 or 2 games. And when they're asked to, they got to show up. And when they don't, that's what you are. Average or just slightly above average. With that roster, you can say whatever you want. Maybe the most talented roster that I've evaluated. But with that all said, football has a lot to do with toughness. TNT, talented but tough. Dang tough.
That comes from coach, doesn't it?
Well, you are an example of who your leader is. So take it as you want it. Every team's leader is what each team shows that they are. If you're a chaotic buffoon, that's what your team is. If you're an emotional guy, that's what your team is. If you're a steady Eddie, consistent guy, that's what you saw with Nick Saban in Alabama for 17 years.
I think this was a complete indictment on Ryan Day, though, man. I know you say Michigan's built to win whatever, but this Michigan team is a shell of those Michigan teams that win those type of games. This is not a good Michigan club, and they went into Ohio State and punched them in the mouth. I don't see how
it's called football.
I don't, but if you're an Ohio State booster, I don't see how you keep giving millions of dollars to this coach to do that.
Can I ask you a question? I know you watch NFL.
Yep.
Chris Olave, first round receiver, isn't he?
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., first round receiver, isn't he?
Yep.
Garrett Wilson, first round receiver, isn't he?
Yep.
One of the better ones in the league.
Got one right now that's going to be a first rounder.
CJ Stroud is one of the better young quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, Ryan Day had those 2 guys. And both of the tackles, Paris and Big Boy that plays for Cleveland now, they're both on that same team. They've always had loaded rosters.
Yeah, he's not a good coach. He's a good coach. He's not a great. I mean, he's not a great.
It's not. There aren't many great coaches. He's a good coach. Football is about physical play, over and over and over again. Are you disciplined to do the things over and over again? Are you physical enough to get punched in the mouth, get back up, punch the other team, pretend like it doesn't hurt, and do the things that you're supposed to do? Ohio State ain't built for that. The guy that's in charge ain't built for that. Jim Harbaugh, what he left in Michigan, they built for that. Jerome Moore, they are built to come in there and bust your face up and make it ugly, muddy, dirty and come out and win by 3. They don't have to win by 30. And I think that's what most people are failing to understand, that rival game and rivalry games has nothing to do with talent, toughness, and discipline. You saw the guys throwing water bottles at each other and slapping at each other. Listen, if you want to do all that, the game happens in 60 minutes. Go out and fight.
That might have been, everybody keeps talking about the college football is different. It's not what we used to know. Maybe the final sign of that was a college football rivalry Saturday where 27 different teams were planting flags and fighting. Even freaking North Carolina and North Carolina State were fighting. And you turn on the damn Egg Bowl, it was the poster child for just dumb shit. And there wasn't one fight. They didn't fight at all. There you go. The apocalypse of college football. Everybody's fighting but the idiots in Mississippi.
Hey, Petty, a fight has to, football players don't fight first and foremost because you got helmets on, right?
Yeah.
That's not even a fight. So anyone that said it's a push and a shove of helmets, okay? If you want to fight, dude, you're not going to sit there and fight on a football field with hundreds of thousands of people watching your security right there. If you're a tough guy, you say, bro, they all link up and meet up anywhere. You just say, listen, just meet me in the hallway and let me bloody your face up. And if you get me, you get me. Those are tough guys. Or when the game is going on and you have the opportunity to physically punish that person, you do it then. But this little slapping party and the pointing, the arguing stuff, bro, they ain't tough guys, man. I've planted flags with my teammates. Never got ran up on because you understood what happened. I bust your face up. We won the game. And when I beat you, I can do whatever I want to. And if I'm planting a flag on here, that means I came in, I took over, and it happened. And if you wanted me not to do this, win the game.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the flag planting. I
know damn sure if you can't beat me in a football game, you ain't whooping me with these hands. So let's just figure that one out. And if a coach got to come out there and rescue you, you're a punk. But hey, listen, we got more to get to.
No, Smoke, preach it, brother, man. And if you say it, I believe it, man. With that said, the chaos has led to just madness in the SEC ranks. And I think my man Smoke has a strong opinion on this side. If you've paid any attention to social media this week, you have noticed some coaches lobbying for their teams. One Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss has pointed out their comparison in schedule to South Carolina. After South Carolina is now hot and beat Clemson, they feel like they belong in the playoffs with their 3 losses. However, there's 2 teams sitting in front of them that have beat them, and now that has just pissed those 2 teams off. Alabama, who may just piss the entire world off, is sitting right there on the periphery. And when the chaos ensued, I think Bama was probably the biggest benefactor of it all. And they are going to be the 9-3 team to get in. But Smoke, did the SEC make a mistake by not bringing in strength of schedule? Because let's be real, an SEC team's resume is never going to look like a Big Ten team's resume or a Pac or the ACC team's resume. It's just not. You don't have. Look, I won't say the Big Ten because the Big Ten is a stronger conference from top to bottom. Let's go to the ACC. Year. You call the ACC waste management. They're absolute give-me's all over an ACC schedule. So you're talking about, even for SMU's sake, look, I think they've done a great job. I actually think they're going to be a program that takes off in this new era of the NL. You better damn watch out for the Pony Express. The old days of the 80s, and they're coming back. SMU's got money right there in the heart of Dallas. But with that said, they didn't have to, even this year, I'm not sure they have the team that some SEC teams that are about to get left out had, and they were able to navigate a much easier schedule. Did SEC make a mistake by not going in and say, look, if we're doing this, you got to realize our resumes aren't going to look like everybody else, and that's got to be taken into account. Strength of schedule has to matter in this deal, or we're absolutely going to screw ourselves.
Hey, Petty, one thing I'm not good at, I'm an honest person. I don't move the goalpost. The goalpost stays where it's at, and I kick the ball through, and I get my points, either 1 or 3. If you didn't put strength of schedule in there, win the games that you're supposed to. Win and get in. Lose, and then you have to sit back and wait for somebody else to allow you to get in. If the SEC are these big, bully, dominant teams and dominant league, and I believe they are the best league, they're the best league in college football, you just have to accept what's been going on. Alabama's been very inconsistent. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, been Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. Kirby and the boys, they are what they are. They're the most consistent group out of all of them. And Texas is right up there. And Josh has figured a way for them Vols to get in and stay in and finish in the top third. Everybody else is subject to getting scrutinized. And when you do and you don't get in, don't complain. Line up and you're playing your bowl game. But trying to put in the strength of schedule or lobbying to get in or saying our league is tougher than the other, no, stop. You should not be a national championship team with 3 losses inside that L column, man. That's embarrassing. I won't recognize it. You can, Petty. I'm not going to. If you finish up 12-4 and you consider yourself like, oh, you were the best, go ahead. Sound like a stumble and a scratch, and you finished up on the finish line by getting dragged across. Most guys sprint straight across and headbutt the finish line. So
look,
take that strength of schedules and go hide with it. It's embarrassing. Stop.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to lead to an expansion in the playoffs in 1 year because they're not going to watch teams leave out. But on the flip side, like, Lane can say whatever he wants, but it all comes back to Kentucky. You lost to a team that won 1 SEC game and won 4 games.
Petty, I'm going to be real with you, man. I've been inside of a lot of buildings and I've been around a lot of coaches, and I've been a player myself. And take this as serious. I'm going to give it to you. Coaches complain more than players. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If players complained as much as the coaches would be pissed off and say, oh, my God, you guys should be. But I haven't heard many players come out and lobby for losing games. You're a coach. Accept the outcomes of what happened because you had the great opportunities to prepare your team not to lose a game. And when you lose a game, whatever the outcome, you take it on the chin and you prepare for the next game. If that's a bowl game or a playoff. But don't go crying, man. It's embarrassing. It looks weak. I would look at my coach very differently. If he told me to be tough and resilient and whatever I get, take it, and don't complain about the outcome because we prepared ourselves the right way. Listen, if you prepared and you got your butt kicked, you got your butt kicked. If I'm Alabama and you went up to Nashville and got your face kicked in, so be it. Great job, Clark Lee. You go to Knoxville and your quarterback don't show up and your coaches don't make great adjustments, that's on you too. You go to Norman, Oklahoma, and you lay an egg, accept that too. And if you get in the playoff, figure out how to win. But if you don't, come on, man. I'm going to turn that helmet behind me around, and I'm not listen, I can't walk around and say I'm a Bama man if I complain. We don't complain. We take what it is and go on.
But is the playoffs about having the best teams in?
Playoffs is having the best teams in, but also having the most marketable players in to make sure that fans like yourself and I pay attention to it. And that's what the committee has to face, and that's what the committee's going to put together.
Well, if that's the case, then you're not putting the Boise States of the world in. You'll put nobody wants to watch. Like you said, they would much rather watch Ole Miss go play Indiana or Miami or whoever than Boise go do it.
I guess.
Or even South Carolina. Let's use them. I'm not using Bama because I we'll get to it in a minute. I think Bama's in this thing.
Listen, man. I don't want to see Ole Miss in it. I don't want to see Alabama in it. I really don't want to see Boise in it. The only thing I want to see is Texas, Ohio State, Oregon.
You want Ohio State in it? What have they proven?
Petty, stop.
What have they proven? Their best wins are Indiana and Penn State.
Okay, what's Penn State record? They've only lost 1 game.
Yeah.
What's Indiana's record? They only lost 1 game. So the team that's beaten them is Ohio State.
Man,
I never said they're the best, but they are a top 3 or top 4 program.
When you play a high school schedule, it's real easy to win them all.
That's embarrassing. Stop saying that. You SEC guys got to stop that. You only can play what's on
SEC
your
guys
schedule.
pull up Penn State schedule.
Pull it up. You only can play what's on your schedule. You
All right,
can't complain about what the outcome is right now just because you got your face kicked in.
Does Alabama beat West Virginia?
Does Alabama beat West Virginia?
Yeah. Let's play a game real quick, Smoke. Does Alabama beat West Virginia?
All depends on what Alabama teams show up, but I'll just say yeah.
Did they beat Bowling Green?
Absolutely.
Kent State?
Murder them.
Illinois?
Dude.
Luke Altmaier and Brett Bielema are going to beat Alabama. Okay. That's a coin flip.
Jackson Arnold and the inept offense of Oklahoma punched them in the face and bloodied them up. So what do you say? Like, we're not. It's an impossible act to do. It's then if then what. I'm not good at if thens. I'm good with facts right in front of me. And the facts in front of me say Indiana's lost 1 game. Ohio State's lost 2. They lost to their rival and they lost to the best team in college football. Penn State lost to Ohio State. That's it. You can't lose 3 games and have a conversation with me about getting in the playoffs because you play in the SEC. I could care less. That's your problem. Win the games that are presented in front of you. That's it. I'm not good on it.
All right.
I mean, Smoke is just playing the role. I'm not playing the role. I'm being honest.
No, bro. I'll say this. Smoke was texting me this. This is not. We're not playing good cop, bad cop here. Smoke fully believes this. And look, man, I'm too. There's a part of me that and I don't want to flip like a fish. I see both sides of it. I do think the SEC should have made demands because there is an element of the SEC resume is freaking tougher. There's no arguing that the SEC is a tougher conference. It's not debatable unless you don't. But on the flip side, when you lose to freaking Vanderbilt or you lose a lifeless game, you don't just lose to Oklahoma. You get throat punched by Oklahoma. You go get embarrassed by Kentucky. And look at Kentucky at home. Then you go lose to. You got to win those games.
If Bama or say Ole Miss, let's use one of. Let's just say SEC teams. I don't want to keep on using. If you lose to
South Carolina,
Tennessee, and you lose to Texas, I'm solid with that. But you can't lose to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, and you can't lose to Kentucky. You can't do that.
But you beat the Georgias. You smoked South Carolina. You beat LSU.
Love it. No one cares about the wins. I'm telling you, it's what it looks like in the right column. The left one is whatever. It's always the right. You and I both know that. No one cares. Like all those 8 wins, great. The 4 could be to the best teams in college football. It's still 4. The number still says 3. Like that makes sense, doesn't it? 11-1.
Well, let's take it. You got a Buffalo Bill helmet behind me. Tell me why it's wrong. Is the playoff model not set up? The NFL teams can win it with 3 losses. Is it not set up once you get to the playoffs for a team to lose a couple games and have a mistake somewhere and still be able, if they show that they can trip up to Oklahoma or Kentucky, but can whip Georgia's ass, they've proven that they're not just. Is that not kind of an NFL model? What a playoff is?
Well, the playoff model the NFL model doesn't have anything to do with ranking. The college system does. So once you bring in rankings into it, then we're talking about something different. It's no different than I used to make the argument about the Patriots going to the playoffs every single year and winning the weakest division. It's no different when Buffalo sucked at that time, Miami was blah, and the Jets stunk. So you look at it every year, you win your division, you're in. But still, yet they're one of the greatest teams of all time. So you play who's in front of you, and when they got to the Super Bowl, they won those games too. Notre Dame, same thing. They had their schedule stunk every single year, they got in. No one complained about that.
Oh, they did.
But now, no, who complained? If you complained, they would crush you. The Irish nation would come get you. But now that Indiana and Boise and those teams have figured a way how to just slide their way in, because what we've created is the participation trophy award we have by allowing this playoff system to come around. Then you get into it. It's different than basketball. Basketball, any team, any night probably can win. In football, you have to have a major screw up to have an upset.
But the college football is the only major sport not to have a playoff system. Why is it now a participation trophy that they're doing what every other sport's done?
Because there's there's truly no parity in college football. There ain't no parity. It just you started this parody. The college football started this parody conversation maybe last year, but before we knew that the 10 teams where every good player was going to, and when the NIL just hit out, we knew that the 4 or 5 money schools, but they figured out that paying the best players, that's not how you build teams. So that formula is not working. So they have to create something by saying, oh, you know what? Let's do a playoff. Let's get half of the 25 teams in it, and let's just go and play. Man, I'm glad I'm not playing in college football right now. Because if I'm playing 16 games and I'm not getting a lot of that money that's being made, yeah, I might. If I'm one of those players, I'm sitting out.
Smoke, I have a good feeling you would have found a way to get some of that money.
I'm gonna get what I'm due to get, not that peanuts crap that they're handing out. Because it's peanuts.
All right. And I think talking about you not liking 3 teams in the playoff is a good segue to talking about who possibly could be in the playoff, Smoke. But before we do that, I've got, hey, man, Sports Talk with JB. This is one of our guys from the Bama Standard. He's on Wednesday night with Cishi on the Crimson Dynasty. He's also on Sunday night talking Bama. What's he saying? The 4 major conferences need to have their own 4-team playoff, then have a Final Four with the conference champs afters. End all the crying and chaos. What you think? So I actually like
that. Ain't a bad idea, JB. Just give me the best teams. I'm telling you, I like seeing good players play.
Well,
I rarely watch NFL games unless marquee players are playing. I love watching NFL games after the turkey gets cut because that's when the true competitors come out and play. College football this is the first year they haven't figured that out. They haven't, because you saw teams out early. They got and won 5 or 6 games. And then when they got to the middle of their season, when things got tough and coaching matters, and they had to come out and start coaching, and players and real players had to step up and play, you saw some teams do this, they come back up, then level off, then go back down. Got to figure out the formula that you're going to use in terms of college football. You got to build your team right in terms of roster. You got to get the right coaches, and your primetime players that you're paying a bunch of money to, they need to show up last week and the week before. The end of the season, when your big-time players need to show up. Not that playing against JMU and Bowling Green and the cupcakes early on in the season like you were talking about. When you get in the meat of your season, true ball players and true coaches show up, and they do their thing.
With that said, Smoke, if you want the best players and best teams, if we go by JB's model, you're going to get Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina in it. You're going to get Miami, who I think, even though Cristobal's an idiot and they prove I don't know who they can beat. Cam Ward on any given day can light it up and beat pretty much anybody in the country if they're rolling. Put those you got to have. I mean,
Petty, you keep on throwing Alabama in like Alabama.
They've got, okay, and let's get to that. I'm going to segue into that. Before you do, if you are on Twitter, X right now watching us, come over to the Bama Standard on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe so you can have all the Bama Standard content coming at you throughout the week, alerting you. So come over here, hit that like and subscribe. And before you do that, we don't know where Alabama's going just yet. Nobody's going. We may be going to a bowl. We may be going to a playoff, but wherever Bama is going somewhere, and you cannot go empty-handed without that title towel. So go to whitwillsports.com today. Get that title towel. Tell them the promo code standard. Get you a little bit of discount and have that title towel on hand wherever the Tide lands this postseason. With that said, I think they may land in the playoffs, much to apparently Smoke's chagrin that a 3-team lost team may roll into this playoff. But Smoke, we'll get to Bama, but I think I think at some point you've got to start taking resumes into account on these bottom teams that have 2 and 3 losses on who's won more and one not. But I'll tell you what, I'll go through real quick and we'll get the non-debatables out of the way, and we'll get who we think's coming. Oregon's in, Texas in, Penn State in, Notre Dame in, Georgia in. They're not taking them out. Tennessee, they're a lock. Ohio State, that didn't knock them out. Lock. Indiana,
lock.
God bless America. Okay. The rest aren't locks. So let's start off. But let's start off with UNLV and Boise State. They have said, the committee has said that that the championship games won't hurt teams. I have a feeling they weren't thinking outside the box of Boise State in this scenario, and the fact that UNLV actually has a damn good coach, a good defense, and almost got them earlier in the season. Boise State being the team that's kind of fighting for their lives and has to be perfect to get in. Do you think the committee would look at this different if UNLV could beat Boise State?
I don't think UNLV, even if they win, I don't think UNLV should get in, man.
Well, I don't think UNLV should get in, but can Barry Odom in that, or is it Barry Odom not and UNLV, can they knock Boise out by beating them?
Yeah, if they beat Boise, I think they should be out. If Boise doesn't win if Boise's not going to win their championship, and I don't think they should get in.
I don't either. I just wonder if they will. I'm very curious because, man, they have made themselves kind of back. The committee, by saying a lot of things, has kind of painted themselves in a corner in a lot of ways to, have to be hypocritical in their decisions. So I don't know, man. I think that'll be maybe the most exciting because it's one of 2 or 3 of the championship games that might actually decide who's in or out.
I guess I'll watch it. I'll watch it on PFF and all 22. I'm not watching that game. It sounds like something I could probably be painting at home instead of watching that live.
I think it's on Friday night, isn't it?
Even better.
Oh man, it's good, dude.
My daughter's gonna have a dance. I'm gonna have to go chaperone or something. So I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna watch the coach's copy of it. Listen, Petty, I like watching really, really good football, like high level elite coaching, elite players. If it's just, I'd rather go watch good high school football than watch some of this stuff. And I'm telling you,
get to watch Genty. You get to watch Genty, the greatest running back to ever walk. Apparently,
who said that?
He's up for the Heisman. They keep talking about him like he's the best running back in the world. I'm not sure he's the best in college football, but
what do you mean? He is the best running back right now.
You think he's the best running back in college football?
Yeah, he's had the best year. Yes, he's the best running back right now in college football.
Those defenses are stout he's been facing.
All right. Dude, listen, are you old enough to remember Marshall Faulk?
Yes, I remember Marshall Faulk at San Diego State. I absolutely remember.
And Marshall should have won the Heisman twice. Yeah. Geno should have won it. Come on. Who's a better player? So stop.
He just brought up Geno.
Ashton Jeanty has played the best football at the running back position this year. Now, once you get to drafting, all that, and evaluating, that's a whole nother conversation because of skill set. But you're talking about statistically the best running back this year, Ashton Jeanty. Move on.
Well, then that makes Friday night worth watching. And then if they lose, they could be out of the playoffs. See, there you go. Intrigue right there, Smoke.
I think he's going to get 200 yards. I know that Brendan Marion's going to do an outstanding job with the go-go offense. Boy's going to have to show up. You can control the game by running the ball, and Boise should come out on top.
I agree with Jay Bake. You put Dylan Sampson from Tennessee at Boise State, and he puts up the exact same numbers and looks just as good as Jeanty.
I guess, but you can't.
Yeah, you can't. That would be fake stuff. Is SMU taking out Clemson? Are they a lock for this thing, Smoke?
I like the playoffs. I like SMU.
I think I do too, man. I just don't think Clemson's that great of a football team.
No, listen.
They're mid.
No, I'm not a Clemson believer. The receiver's kind of banged up. Cade Klubnik can be either good Cade or bad Cade, and they have 2 guys that can get after you on the edges for SMU, and they can pick the ball off when you put it in the air. They average 39 points. If Clemson's not going to score 40, it's tough. Clemson defense is tough. They're good. But SMU is going to spread them out. Kevin Jennings is a dual threat guy. It's going to put Clemson's defense in a compromising position and put them in a pickle. The pace that they play at, and he can run the ball when the play breaks down. It's going to be tough on Clemson to defend. And if Klubnik comes out there and plays like bad K, the one that we just saw a couple last week, we turn the ball over, put it up in the air. SMU got 3 guys. They got 3 interceptions.
And I'm not sure he's the runner that Sellers is at the quarterback, but like you said, they can do a lot of what South Carolina did, but they can pass it better. And South Carolina's not a great passing team, was able to run all over Clemson. They're good. I think this offense will be able, like you said, I think they're going to dice Clemson up.
Bro, they can run the ball as well too.
Oh, I know they can. But man, I'll be honest, Sellers, that's all he can do, and they couldn't stop it. That dude's.
If you get beat, if you go into a game and you lose to a team that's playing one hand behind their back because they can't pass the ball, a la Oklahoma, a la South Carolina, and beat you, I'm good on watching you play football. It's okay. There's a place for you. It's not the playoffs.
I think the more I talk about this, I think I may be I'm definitely making a note on not taking SMU this weekend. But okay. Crazy things, I think, if you're a Bama fan, let's get to Alabama now and how this playoff system works. I know the rankings coming out tomorrow means something, but Saturday could really screw some shit up. If Clemson were to beat SMU, if Iowa State were to beat white-hot Arizona State, I don't think those two things are going to happen. Both those teams are playing really good ball, really locked in, and I don't think the other two teams are, like you've said with Clemson, much like that, Iowa State, I don't think has the capability right now to beat Arizona State. If that goes to chalk, it's Bama or Miami. Smoke. You don't want 3-loss Bama. You taking 2-loss Miami with their best win being Florida and losses. I know.
Pick one. Who cares?
Tell you who they're going to take. Every week.
Just throw up a quarter up in the air, flip it head to tail. Do you want to see Milroe or do you want to see Cam? Do you want to see MMA Mario, or do you want to see Kalen DeBoer on the sideline with a hoodie on? To me, I'd rather not see either one of them play in the playoffs. If you want to put one of the Cinderella teams in there instead of those two teams, go ahead. But those teams, they haven't earned the right to play in the playoffs. You haven't. They haven't earned the right. You can't lose to the bottom of the league and say that you're a top-tier team. Not going to happen. I'm good on that. The best team that you've beaten is Florida, Miami. Come on. You've gone
Then that tells you Bama's the choice. And look, man, regardless what you want to say, every Sunday when they look at the numbers on views, TV viewership, there's one team that's number one every week.
I guess.
It's that crimson helmet behind you, buddy.
Go ahead.
Crimson's money. People watch Alabama, and nobody wants Alabama on their schedule in that playoffs, man.
Who don't want it?
Playoffs,
what are you talking about? Who don't want to see Alabama on the schedule?
Nobody.
What makes Alabama scary? One person that every Bama fan's beaten up in the last 3 weeks, and I told you guys to leave him alone. There's only one player that scares you.
The A is all. I don't care what you say. The A is absolutely in and of itself. You don't want any part of it in the playoffs.
I asked you, I said, what player scares you on Alabama? There's only one, and you beat him up every week. Jalen Milroe.
Jahad Campbell scares me. Tim Keenan scares me.
Who?
Man, Keenan.
What does he do? When has he shown up? And presented last week.
I watched him blow up in the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, where was he against Vanderbilt? He played? Where was he when in Oklahoma? Did he play? I know when one guy does not show up, what happens? You lose.
Look, you can talk players all you want, but I'm gonna go the New York Yankee route. You don't have to know Yankee players. That NY shows up in the look. You don't want the Crimson showing up at your house.
I do.
Come playoff time.
If I'm any playoff team, bring them. Bring them.
Smoke, you play.
Bring them. Petty, nothing scares you about Alabama except one guy. If he's on, you're in trouble. If he's off, you're losing by 21 points.
Look, you played for them. Take it from somebody that every time they have see the Crimson on the schedule, you're like, well, shit. Nobody wants Alabama, man. Nobody wants Alabama
wanted
to play
play Alabama when one said Nick Saban was there. Listen, they don't scare people anymore, bro. I'm telling you.
Talk about let's talk about the one guy that scares. He shows up. Bama can beat any team in college football if he's on his game.
Absolutely.
That right there makes some scary as shit to show up on your schedule. Because what if that man comes in with his A game?
Fifth, drunk, bad, whatever. I'm just telling you, I'm not scared of him. The only one guy, if he shows up and you have a decent game plan, you got a shot. But I keep telling you, man, nobody's afraid of that defense with 3 down and a defensive lineman playing linebacker. Nobody's afraid of that. Nobody, and you, Justin, Marvin, every Bama fan screamed at me, beat me up about the 17-year-old phenom. Did he play last week?
He did.
He played the week before that?
Yep.
What about the week before that?
I'm pretty sure he showed up in all of them.
I'm still trying to figure out if this phenom is there.
Hey, I never beat you. I never beat you over the head with Ryan Williams. That wasn't me.
Very good player. Don't see generational talent. Very good player. I just wish that he would be more developed at the end of the year in terms of route running, physical play, catching the ball across the middle of the field, and becoming a more complete receiver. He looks the same that he was against Georgia, that he was against them boys down the road.
Great question by Eric D here. Who in college football is scary though, Smoke? You say Bama's not scary. Well, who does scare you? We've said that.
Nobody. I told you this is average, above average, and average teams all mixed up and jumbled up in one. The only reason why Alabama scared people is because there's consistent mentality and consistent play that Nick Saban prepared the best players in college football to come out there and bludgeon you every single week. And they never took pressure off you. And when you feel the pressure every single time that Bama showed up with that old man standing on the sideline, you knew exactly what you were going to get. Physical, discipline, explosive on defense, explosive on offense, darn good special team, and you have to beat Alabama. They weren't going to beat themselves. Right now, Bama gets beat by themselves. Bama beats themselves. They show up and they start beating themselves. So, no, I'm not scared. Not scared of Oregon. Nope. Because they have holes. They're just the least amount of holes. Ohio State, you just saw what happened. Physical play, butter them up. Georgia's not the same Georgia. They're not physical up front. And that once dominant defense that scared everybody, not there anymore. So what do you go to? Texas?
No, I'm looking at Georgia.
So I guess the playoffs is fun because you have a bunch of in it, and people are wanting to watch it. And every underdog fan is saying, "I can't wait for my team to get in there and lose."
Well, then let me ask you this, Smoke. Do you think Bama's in? Do you think when the committee picks it tomorrow after 7-10 is Bama on that list? I think you got to be 10 or 11 to be safe because of Boise State or wherever they have Arizona State ranked, because if they're outside the top 12, one of those champions is going to get a spot. Bama in, Smoke.
They're not going to be in tomorrow. They'll be in at the end.
Wow. Okay. So Bama fans are going to have to sweat for another week after the play. You think it's not going to?
That's what I'm saying. If I'm a Bama fan, you're not supposed to be sweating. You're supposed to be in the catbird seat, sitting back, saying, "Hey, listen, are we going to play another game at Bryant-Denny, or are we going to have to go on the road somewhere else?" Right now, you're begging and praying and having former players coming on doing TikToks about letting us in. It's embarrassing, man. I never felt so ashamed of begging to get in the playoff, and you're Alabama. Just ask Nick. What does Nick think? That's Nick Saban what he think. I'm pretty sure he told you guys. No, I'd rather have Miami in because they only had 2 losses. Bama has 3. It's real easy. If you take 2 L's and 3 L's, the 2L team gets in. Simple. I don't care who you play. If you're 1-11 and you beat the number 1 team in the nation, does that mean you're really good? That means you lucked up in one game. The name of the game is winning, not losing. Winning. So the more you win, the more you get in. The more you lose, you get out. It ain't hard. People try to make this thing too hard, man. It's simple.
Simple math, right, Smoke? Well, as I told you, I'm from Mississippi, and we don't damn do math. I like to do all the other conjective shit.
Well, okay. You have a left column, and you got the right column. Stay in the left. Get out of the right.
Smoke, man, I think you have fired them up tonight, buddy. I don't think they were expecting the quit whining and win mentality tonight.
Listen, Smoke I'm a acquired taste, and I'm the truth. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to make you try to feel good. I'm going to tell you the exact facts. You have a chance of getting in at the end, but when it comes tomorrow, you probably be the first one out. And if you're the first one in, hoorah, get in. Go play against Boise and watch Genty run for 5,000 yards down your throat. Yes. Oh yeah, because you can stop the run. Got it. I got it. You're right. Bama can stop the run. They're real good.
When that's all that they've, I say that, and you're gonna throw Oklahoma in Van. I know what you're gonna do. I get it.
No, I'm not gonna throw anybody up. I'm not gonna throw anybody up. I'm just gonna say, just cut the tape on and watch. Just watch the 280-pound linebacker playing off the ball, doing I don't know what they call that guy. I'm still trying to figure out what is he doing. So if
anybody's got a question for Smoke, hit it up now. By the way, before we get out of here, he'll answer your questions.
If Hugh Freeze would have made his mind up and said, "I'm just gonna win ugly," them boys down the road could have upset Bama.
Gerald played CB for Bama, coached and scouted for college and NFL, and sported a tight Jerry curl.
Love it.
I thought you've always been slick.
Man, whoever calls me Gerald, I got to think who Gabrielle is. She's known me for a long time.
Gabrielle, was Smoke bringing that soul glow back in the 90s?
In the 90s. I was born in 1980, bro.
Well, that's when soul glow was in its prime.
Eric D says Smoke is giving his opinion. He's not right. That's good. I've been wrong a lot of times, but I've been right a whole lot more.
Smoke has been smoking tonight. Boy, I'm telling you, man, I just don't see how you put teams like Miami in that ain't beat nobody. I don't.
That's fine. You can argue that all you want to. A strength of schedule. Go ahead. Put them up there, strength of schedule up there. But it's hard to look at 10-2, 9-3. Which one looks better?
The one that's played football teams.
So you got to go through the whole schedule. Oh, that team was good. Well, Vandy wasn't good when they played them, but they finished in the top 25. But now they're out. That's it. Dude, it's easy, man. It's too complicated. The left column, more, less on the right. Football ain't hard, champ.
No, tell that to Cristobal. I'm
not saying that Cristobal did an outstanding job. He just found a way to get W's. They could have lost to Virginia Tech, but the quarterback played a great game. Cal, same thing. Build him out.
The Christopher, the 9-3 SEC team looks better. TF, what you're saying? The fuck? So you're saying we're crazy for saying they do look better or they don't? I can't. I'm my sarcasm meter's off on that one. I couldn't really read it.
9-3 don't look better than 10-2. Sorry.
It does when you play legit teams.
I'm just trying to tell you that's not my. But listen, it looks good when you play legit teams, but it don't look good when you lose to teams that are just bottom feeders. Don't look good either.
But when you don't play either and you lose to the crappy ones and don't even beat the good ones.
Now you're moving the goalposts. Strength of schedule. You beat good teams, but you lost to the worst ones. What looks better?
What if you haven't beaten any good teams? Well, if you consider Florida a good team?
No.
That's Miami's best win.
Sorry. Put them on the. Was Virginia Tech ranked high at the beginning of the season? Yes. They were in the top 25.
Another Vandy victim. Man, I'm trying to figure. We got a lot. Hey, Smoke, we brought fans from all walks of life tonight. This has been good stuff. I think there's been all kind of fire and brimstone in the.
They'll be all right, man. I've known to ruffle a few feathers, but again, like I said, just track record appears at some time. Don't check my resume though. You don't want to do that.
All right. Well, Smoke, before we get out of here, let me tell you about this. We got a huge week coming up. I know man, Bama Standard's going to keep rolling. We got the flagship tomorrow night, the Bama Standard. You going to be on there tomorrow night, Smoke?
Absolutely.
All right, 6 Central. Y'all got any guests coming tomorrow night?
Me, myself,
Me,
Steve,
you the guest. Marvin,
Steve.
Marvin showing up. I think Bo Scarborough may make a guest appearance.
Man, bring Bo. Hey, listen, Bo gonna give you the truth. He's gonna listen. All those guys are gonna tell you that Bama should be in, and it's gonna be one-sided. You guys should respect what I'm saying because I'm speaking the truth. That's it.
Wait, are you saying they're gonna say Bama should be in?
Oh, all of those guys. They're all homers. Oh yeah, Bama's advantage. They're gonna go in. Petty, run the tape back. How many wins did I tell you Bama's gonna have this year?
You said 9.
Ding!
I'm
you
not.
said they're gonna be a lock. Are they a lock? No. No. I told you who's the best team in the SEC. Texas and Georgia. What are they playing? Oh, they're playing the SEC championship.
I don't think they're the best. I don't think Georgia's the best team in the SEC.
They're top 2.
They've lost to Bama and Ole Miss. God, you can't lose those games.
Why? Because Ole Miss is a bad team and Bama's a bad team? You're talking about 2 teams that are talking about getting in the playoffs. That's the only 2 teams that they lost to. And the team that only has 1 loss in the conference that you regard as the best conference, they bust them up at their house. And they didn't even plant the flag. Because their head coach makes sure that their kids respect their opponents. We don't do that.
They did do that.
Nah, all that plant flag, it's just respect, bro. Respect your opponent. It's okay. You're supposed to win. Tearing down goalposts, I think that's embarrassing too.
That's gotten out of hand. I'm with you. That's no
different than planting flags and all those players slapboxing each other and waving at each other, throwing water bottles at each other. Childish behavior, bro.
Go back some egg bowls. They'll show you how to fight with helmets on. With that said, hey, Smoke tomorrow night, 6 Central. I'll be back with you tomorrow night on the final whistle at 8 Central with Matt Caddell. I think it was his birthday today, so we'll be singing Matt happy birthday. Chris James, Dan James, Ty Hayes, Lushawn Graves, the whole crew be back at you tomorrow. Then Wednesday night, the Crimson Dynasty, 6:30 Central. CC Payne, JB, who's been in the chat tonight. I think he figured the whole playoff system out for us tonight. And I think Stephen Smith hops on with them from time to time. And then after that, 8:15, Teague's take. George Teague will be breaking down game film. Again, I tell you every week, it's the most educational hour on this network outside of any time Smoke is talking. Then Thursday nights, we coming at you. Good Lord. It's hard in the man. The joke I just said, they're off the whole name. Going hard in the paint. It's going to be JT, Herb, me talking Bama basketball. Big week on the hard court. Lost to Oregon in the championship, but still played beat a bunch of good teams this week. It was like I said, Bama basketball is rolling right now. Catch us 7:30 Central Thursday nights. And then, well, we don't have a game, so there'll be no post game, but Sunday night talking Bama with JT, JB at 7 Central. Was it 7:30, Justin? Man, my times are so many. Give me a thumbs up. 7:30? 7:30 Central. Okay. And then me and my boy Smoke coming back at you. Smoke, where can they find you spitting facts?
Nah, listen, if I give them now, they're going to blow me up. But hey, listen, go ahead and do it anyway, man. Coach GVD on X. Smoke GV Dixon on IG. Blow me up if you want to. DM me, tell me how crazy I am. But at the end of the day, watch the results.
There you go. And I'm Daniel Petty. I'm your host. I told you all the crazy places I'm at throughout the week. You can find me on Twitter at Petty_Daniel or on Facebook at Petty. We will be back here next Monday, as always, bringing the heat or the smoke. As always, till next time.
Well, nobody really wants to smoke until they get it.
Cough it up, man. Oh, yeah. Hit that like and subscribe. Before you get out here, Twitter X, come over here on YouTube, the Bama Standard. Like and subscribe. Like I said, man, we're coming at you all week with great shows. Always have great guests. The panelists are always spitting fire. Football season's just getting heated up as we go into the playoffs. Stick with us. Peace. Justin, I think he's looking for that.